it's Michelle from Rainbow Loom, and today we'll be learning how to make this Wavy Work bracelet that I created using the double-ended LoomiLoom hook, available on the Rainbow Loom web store for under $5. If you are not using the LoomiLoom hook, you will need to flip your bracelet around for each section that we make. In the realm of all hook-only bracelets, I would consider this one of the easier and quicker ones, so I would say this is a beginner to intermediate hook-only bracelet. But if you are not used to doing hook-only bracelets, you might find this a little more challenging. However, I trust that you can do it. Some parts of this design are similar to the Infinite Swirl bracelet, so if you can make that one, then this one should be super easy. I have 4 different color schemes here, and we will be making this bracelet on the far right today. Now let's go over the materials needed. First, you will need a hook, and I am using the double-ended LoomiLoom hook available on the Rainbow Loom web store. This hook was designed just for rubber bands, and allows you to precisely grab bands and weave them together. As for everything else that I'm using, I will be taking the pastel C-clips and bands from this Michaels exclusive BFF Mega Combo set featuring bracelet buttons. You get some looms, hooks, accessories, and most importantly tons of rubber bands. Let's just take a minute to admire the bands in this kit. This set's rubber bands are so unique. They are dual layered, obviously quite strong and shiny. I have been making tons of bracelets recently with this kit. As for the band count, this depends on your wrist size, but for an average adult woman's wrist, you will need 27 of the long bands here, which are dual pink and black. For the twisted band, which is white, you will need around 24. Then for the inner twisted band, which is purple, you will also need around 24. And then for the connecting red band, you will need around 12. So in total, that is 87 bands. Not too bad, I'd say. One more thing before we get started, if you are left-handed, you will do everything mirrored. So if I say to grab the first 2 bands on your hook, you will actually grab the last 2 bands on your hook. For the beginning of my bracelet, I have my bands set up in this order. The dual colored black and pink band will be the long blue bands in this bracelet. Then the purple and white bands will be the red and white twisted bands in this bracelet. Then the last red band will be the gold connecting band in this bracelet. You can lay out your bands in this order if you'd like to follow along, but this setup is only for the beginning, and we will change it up slightly for the repetitive steps. Now let's get started. I have my double-ended LoomiLoom hook here, and the band I am starting with is the color used for the long sides, which is the dual pink and black band for me. We will place that on our hook and twist once so that there are 2 loops of the band sitting on our hook. This is our cap band. Get another band of the same color and pull it through both loops on our hook. So put the band on the tip of your hook and slide the 2 loops onto this new band. Then close by placing the loop that you're holding back onto the hook. Next, we will remove the first loop from our hook and pick up 1 loop of our cap band, which is the first band you placed on. So remove the first loop. You can see that there are 2 loops of the cap band here. We will pick up the first loop of the cap band. Then, close by returning the loop in your hand back onto the hook. Place your index finger onto these bands so that they stay in the correct order. Then you can get your next band, which is one of the inner twisted bands. I am using purple for this. Pull this new band through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then you will use your hook to reclaim the first loop, which is also the farthest loop from the tip of your hook. So place the new band onto your hook and pull it through the first 2 loops. Then, reclaim the first loop, so the one farther from your hook, and then close. We will do this one more time with the second twisted band color, which I chose white for. Pull this band through the first 2 loops on your hook, and then reclaim the first loop, which should be the first twisted band that we placed down. So pull this through the first 2 loops, reclaim the first loop, and close. There should be 5 loops on your hook now. Now, take the color you want for the long band in this bracelet, which is also the first color that I placed down, and we will do something similar to what we just did, but with an extra step, so make sure you stay with me. Pull this band through the first 2 loops on your hook, and reclaim the first loop again. Before closing, we will pull the 3rd and 4th loops off the hook, which is one side of our first twisted band, and one side of our second twisted band. There are a couple ways you can do this. We can just grab the 3rd and 4th loops with your fingers and pull them off the hook like this. Now you can close. We can do the same thing to the other side now. If you are using a double-ended hook, then just slide your creation over to the other side. If not, pinch the loose bands here, remove your hook, then place it on the other side to flip your creation. Let's start again by picking up the other side of the cap band. So remove the first loop on your hook, pick up the cap band, then close. To keep everything in the correct order, I'm holding these bands in place with my index finger. Take the first of your twisted bands and pull it through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then reclaim the first band and close. Make sure that your bands don't move around and that they stay in the correct order. Get your second twisted band and do the same thing. Pull it through the first 2 loops on your hook and reclaim the first one. Then close. With our long side band again, we will do the same thing but add the pulling off step. So pull this band through the first 2 loops on your hook, reclaim the first one, and before closing, we will pull the 3rd and 4th loops off our hook. You can do it the same as before when we just grab them, or you can slide the 3rd and 4th loops over the first 2 loops, which is what I'm doing here, and then close. The last band we will place on for this section is our connecting band, which is red for me. In the end, we want this to get pulled through the middle 4 loops, but instead of removing the first loop on our hook to do that, we will pull this band through the first 5 loops on our hook, reclaim the first loop, and then do some rearranging. So let's pull this through the first 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then reclaim the first loop and the one that you're holding, and switch the positions of the first and second loops on our hook. Make sure that your hook matches mine, and then we can start the repetitive section, which is what you'll do for the rest of your bracelet. For all the other sections, this is how I'm setting up my bands. We have our first twisted band on each side of our bracelet, then our second twisted band on both sides, then our longer side band on both sides, and lastly, a single connecting band. Let's work on the repetitive section of our bracelet now, which is what you'll do until your bracelet is long enough. Get your first twisted band and pull it through the first 2 loops on your hook. Reclaim the first loop and close. Get your second twisted band and do the same thing. Pull it through the first 2 loops, reclaim the first loop, and close. Now get your long side band and we'll do almost the same thing. Pull it through the first 2 loops, reclaim the first loop, and pull the 3rd and 4th loops off your hook. We learned 2 ways to do this, so do whichever one is easier for you. I'm grabbing the 3rd and 4th loops and pulling them off. Then close. Flip your creation and let's do the same thing to the other side. Pull the first twisted band color through the first 2 loops on your hook, reclaim the first loop, and close. Then take your second twisted band color and pull it through the first 2 loops, reclaim the first, and close. With the long side band, pull it through the first 2 loops on your hook, reclaim the first, and pull the 3rd and 4th loops off your hook. This time I'm sliding the 3rd and 4th loops over the 1st and 2nd loops, and close. Now get the connecting band color, and we want to pull it through the middle 4 loops. So we're going to pull it through the first 5 loops, which is everything but the last loop. Then reclaim the first loop, and close. Move the second band over the connecting band so that both loops surround the connecting band like this. And now you will repeat this repetitive section until your bracelet is long enough. You can follow the chapters to rewind this part. I will do this with you one more time, but a bit faster. Pull the first twisted band through the first 2 loops and reclaim the first. Then do the same thing but with your second twisted band color. With the long side band, pull it through the first 2 loops. Reclaim the first. Then slide the 3rd and 4th loops off your hook and close. Do the same to the other side. So pull the first twisted band through the first 2 loops and reclaim the first. Then do the same with the second twisted band. With the long side band, pull it through the first 2 loops, reclaim the first, pull the 3rd and 4th loops on your hook off, and close. Then pull the connecting band through the first 5 loops on your hook, reclaim the first band and the band that you're holding, and move the second loop over so that it surrounds the connecting band on the hook like this. And now you are done with the second repetitive section. If you want to continue doing this together, you can rewind using the timestamps in the description. My bracelet is now long enough to go around my wrist, so I'll show you how to end this now. I stopped at the last step of the repetitive section where we placed on our connecting band. And now I'm taking a band color that matches the long side bands. We will pull that through everything on our hook. Ending this bracelet is pretty easy. We can place our clips on now, so I'm going to use 2 C-clips to make sure that my bracelet is secure. I'm placing 1 C-clip on our loose end, and another one on the side with the cap band, which is the first band that we placed on. To join these together, I'm going to connect 1 C-clip at a time, so make sure that the first C-clip's opening faces up and connect it to the other side. With the second C-clip, make sure that the opening faces down this time and connect it to the other side. So now we have 2 C-clips whose openings are facing opposite directions. This will make your bracelets more secure. I also like using easy clips because I feel like they're the most secure clip, but I know that they're not that accessible right now. Anyways, after placing on your clip, your Wavy Work bracelet is now complete. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial on how to create this Wavy Work bracelet using the LoomiLoom hook. If you make this, please tag us at official_RainbowLoom and use the hashtag RainbowLoom so that we can see your creations on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We also host weekly giveaways on our Instagram called our Loom Star of the Week contest, where you can win some fun prizes, so be sure to follow us there. In the description box below, you can find where to purchase your own Rainbow Loom products. We have so many kits available, and there's honestly something for everyone. We are also selling some Rainbow Loom products on our TikTok shop, so if you're in the US, check out our store, which has some exclusive bundles and deals that you can't find anywhere else. And again, thanks for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.